Hi, I'm Steph.
I'm Stephanie.
And we have been kayaking together for almost 3 years now.
A lot of what we see when we go out kayaking is just nature, beauty, animals, plants, the things you would expect on our beautiful lakes, rivers, and streams and swamps here in Florida.
But there has been a couple times, 10 times in fact, where we have seen some disturbing things. And so today we decided we were going to share about those 10 things and show in graphic detail some of those. So be aware, you're going to see what these things are.
And we're actually going to share these disturbing things with you while we're actually paddling on the dead lakes.
Number 1, we saw a dead bear. Now, this was not something that we were expecting to see, and we thought it was something else at first, so please enjoy as you see how we experienced it. Ah, Stephanie! Stephanie, what is that?
What is what? Oh, what, the dome-looking thing? That thing?
Yes!
It's a sandbag.
No, it's not. It's fuzzy. What?
What? It's either a dead bear or a dead door. That's a dead bear.
A bear? No way.
That's a dead bear. Yeah. I can smell it pretty well. Let's go back out to the main lake.
Why?
There are less bear in the main lake. Hopefully there are less dead bears. I am 99% certain that's a dead bear. It's got a little teddy bear tail, but no head.
Head in the water?
Its head's in the water.
Okay.
Now, after we found this bear, we did call Florida Fish and Wildlife. They are a species of concern, so if you do spot a bear, whether it's alive or dead, please do contact Florida Fish and Wildlife. They will send an investigator out to determine cause of death, along with some other things. So the second thing that we saw that was disturbing was we actually found a car in a lake.
That looks like a airplane? It would make sense to be an airplane because of where we are. What? I think that's an airplane. What? I'm pretty sure
it's a car. That's the hood.
Oh, yeah, you're right. It is a car.
But still,
That's so crazy. How did this end up here? Yeah, I see it now, yeah.
Nothing good?
Ooh, boy. It had roof racks, too. That's a good car. They could have put a kayak on it.
So we really didn't know how this car got into the lake. I now know through taking my Florida Master Naturalist courses that a lot of our wetlands and swamps do periodically dry out and refill, and Cascades Lake is one of them that periodically dries out. We actually got a chance to hike out there to the car later when it was in a dry period and take a look at it. It was like a 1990s like Ford SUV, it looked like to me. I don't know how it got there, but someone probably abandoned it, just drove it out there during a dry period. So I assume that they were just trying to trash the vehicle. I don't think there was anything disturbing going on, but we haven't ruled it out.
Number 3, I was hit by a fish. Now, it doesn't seem that disturbing, but the thing that was like scary about it was if it had been any bigger or I wasn't necessarily ready for it, it could have pushed me into the water. So that was kind of disturbing and scary for me. Luckily, I was okay. But we've had a couple incidences with fish. I've been hit a couple times with fish, and Stephanie actually had a fish jump in her boat the first time we paddled together.
The first time we paddled together, and I think the most recent time we paddled together, I had a fish jump into your kayak. Kayaking on the St. Marks River down at Natural Bridge, we actually came across a herd of wild pig. And we came pretty close to them because they were crossing, it wasn't a very deep area, and they were crossing through it, and that was scary. That's fine. We can hang out here for a few minutes.
Yeah, so I wouldn't necessarily be overly scared, but Stephanie has put the fear of hogs in me, of being scared because they can like jump in the water and then like attack.
They aren't going to attack you in the water, so we should be nervous about them because on land they can be aggressive, especially during breeding season. We've never had one come at us in the water, but
it's disturbing.
It's still kind of scary because they can be aggressive.
Yes, yeah. Number 5, we found a dead deer. and it was basically the ribs, I think, of the deer, and it was at the landing where we were starting to paddle, and that was disturbing. That was not something I wanted to see. And along with that, we've actually saw a couple more at another landing that I don't have footage of, but anytime we see like bones and things like that, I'm not a fan, and it disturbs me. Stephanie kind of thinks they're cool, but it's disturbing for me. I'm sorry. I don't love it.
It's the circle of life. The sixth disturbing thing that we've seen, actually a controlled burn. We were kayaking at Owl Creek, and it was just a haze. And then in that haze, we found a floating shack, which...
A couple of them.
A couple of floating shacks, which in a swamp environment does give real murder shed vibes, right? So we didn't see anyone out and about, or they weren't occupied, but they could have been.
It was disturbing, and it does seem like some place that someone would be murdered. So we definitely looked at it. We didn't go in because
no breaking and entering to the murder shed.
And then a controlled burn. Those happen fairly often in Florida. It's a way to protect the environment and help us not have wildfires. And so we're pretty used to those, but that was probably the most we've ever seen on a paddle. And so it just made the murder part, the shed, look even more kind of like ominous.
Yes, it
really
lended to the creepy ambiance.
Yes, it added to it for sure. Number 7, I got a spider on me, okay? Like, I did not love that. So we were kayaking Stephanie's Creek, and a big old spider, just like got in my kayak, and I was not a fan. So my friend Amber was there, and she was helping me try to get the spider off me. Stephanie was laughing at me. My friend Jason was there just like hanging out. So we finally got the spider off. I think Stephanie did. I think she ended up getting
the spider off. It went on to live a happy spider life.
It did. But you know what? I have no issues with spiders, but I don't want them in my kayak.
So number 8, actually kayaking at Cascades Lake again, where we found the dead car. It was dead.
Yes. Crashed car.
The crashed car. We actually found a bunch of trash, and not like the normal trash you see. Like, it looks like someone had a bad breakup and they took a bunch of stuff out there and dumped it. There were Disney VHS tapes and like some good ones too, but they had been rained on, so nothing worth taking. It has since been cleaned up, so there are occasionally river cleanups and swamp cleanups that people engage in around here.
Number 9, I do want to mention, we have not mentioned gators at all. We kayak in Florida mostly, and there's a ton of gators out here when we're kayaking. Those are not disturbing to us. What is disturbing is a dead gator, and it's sad. Like, we don't want to see really dead things. So we actually were kayaking on Talcahuan Lake once, and we saw like what looked like an albino alligator, and we weren't sure, but it wasn't, like, the closer we got, it wasn't moving, and we were at a safe distance until we like knew it was dead, and that was very disturbing and sad. Stephanie got closer to it.
Yeah, I got right up on it so I could smell it and hear the flies buzzing. Actually, that's why I went up closer to it, because I could hear the flies buzzing, so I knew it was dead. And then when I got around to the other side, I could see part of its skull.
Yeah, and then you did call Fish and Wildlife, I think.
Called and reported that to Fish and Wildlife as well. I don't know if they take gators, because gators are so common. It got caught up in a trot line, so that's what happened to it.
Yeah. And number 10 is no goat on the island. Now, some reference for this is we went kayaking on Lake Talcahuan once, and we kayaked to Goat Island, and we found a goat.
We met a goat.
She was so nice. You named her?
I named her Nancy. Very cute, very, very friendly. She was very eager, lonely. Goats are herd animals, and they like to be around people.
So we had fun with the goat. We enjoyed the island, everything. And then probably like a month later, I took 2 other friends out to the island to show them the goat. And the goat was gone, and that was disturbing because my assumption was that the goat was eaten probably by a gator because it was kind of alone on this island and not really any kind of shelter around it. So I was really sad and disturbed. But
good news, she was actually rescued by an animal rescue, and I'm gonna show the the Flying Pig Animal Sanctuary. It belongs to an acquaintance of mine, and she actually went out there. She went through the proper channels. Nobody claimed the goat, so she had to wait 30 days, which is in that time when we went and found her. And then once she got the all clear, she went and loaded her up, and now Cypress, we named her Nancy, but she is now officially named Cypress, is living at Flying Pig Animal Sanctuary with a bunch of other goats and some pigs and some dogs and I think a donkey and some other things. We'll link to their website as well.
And there's a video about that journey that I'll link to below as well. And we're definitely going to go see her at some point.
Yes, we're definitely going to go see her at
see if
some
she remembers
point.
us.
So
those are the 10 most disturbing things that we have seen while kayaking, but we ended with a wonderful, happy story. So I hope you have a great day.